What's up, curious monsters, and welcome to the lab. I'm Teacher Jack. It's finally time to make the last of our dice. It's a 10-sided die we're making this time, a D10. That also means we'll be learning about the numbers 9 and 10. And I have the perfect game that uses that brand new D10 on, also using some chopsticks. Does that sound like a fun way to beat boredom to you? Well then, strap in, we're gonna have a time. Before we get started, why not give that like button a good smooshing? And also subscribe to the channel. That helps videos like this pop up on your radar. And it helps these videos pop up on other kids' radars too. Fun times for everyone, so please do that. This is the last part of our series using numbers and dice, and a coin. This is the last part of our series using numbers and dice, and a coin. The videos for numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are on the channel. You can root around and find them. But I put them all in the playlist. And also, all those links are down below. You can do those activities first before doing this one, or let's just dive right in. After numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is 9. So we have nothing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next number after that is 10. So it's nothing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nothing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that we're familiar with those numbers, let's get to writing them. First up, number 9. 9 is usually written in one of two ways. It can be like this, that's a circle and then a standing line. It kinda looks like the letter Q. The other way is this, that's a circle and a curve. It's an upside down 6. The hand hack to both of those are the same. If you write with the right hand like I do, then this trick will work for you. Put your other hand, that's the left hand in this case, down like this. Then, between the thumb and the pointer, draw the circle. The standing line or curve will go down the outer side of the thumb. Choose your favorite way to write 9 and practice a bunch of times. Writing 10 is easy. It's just a 1 and a 0. That's it. So, choose your favorite way to write 1 and plop down the 0 right beside it. Just remember that the 1 goes first. That's on the left side. The non-writing hand side, if you're a righty like me. Easy peasy. Practice writing 10 a few more times. Now it's time to build the last die, a D10. Here's what it looks like. Now, admittedly, it might be quite tricky to build this one. So, if you're having trouble building it, even with the help of mom and dad, I have some alternatives that you can try. So you have something to use for the game today and for other activities in the future. The first suggestion is to go to Google and search dice roller. They have a virtual dice roller right there on the page. You can even choose how many sides the die they're gonna roll for you has. The second option is to find an app for your tablet or phone. You can find the dice rolling app on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. There's lots of them there. Just find the one that you like the best. Or you can find a set of dice like mine. This set has dice with the number of sides like all the ones we've made before, and even an extra one, a D20, a 20-sided die. To find them easily, you can search for polyhedral dice. If you're gonna do one of those alternatives, you can skip the whole building part of the video. Head on over to this time in the video so you can get straight to the game. If you want to complete the set and build your own, I'm going to give you instructions to do just that. We'll do it a little differently from how we did the other dice, because the shape on the face of this die is a little irregular and it's kind of hard to explain how to do it, because the faces look like this. See, it's like a diamond that's not equal at the top and the bottom, so it's gonna be hard. You'll probably need the help of mom, dad, or anyone older to be able to do this. To make this, we'll need some cardboard. You can use whatever you have. Folders, old cereal boxes, things like that. We'll need some scissors, a pencil, and a marker. Finally, glue and tape to put it together. Then we'll also need art supplies so we can decorate and personalize our D10. You can use whatever you want. Since it's an irregular shape, it might be hard to explain or understand how to make the measurements or angles to make it so. Here's what we can do. I'll flash the shape on the screen, and then you can take a thin piece of paper and put it on top of the screen of whatever device you're watching on. The paper has to be thin enough that you can see the shape underneath. Use a pencil and trace around the shape. It doesn't matter if this shape is too big or too small for the size of the die that you want to make. I'll show you how to make it bigger or smaller. So even if your screen is small, or if it's too big, it's fine to trace it. And here is the shape. You can pause this video to give yourself more time to trace this shape. When you're done, take a ruler or any straight edge and retrace the lines that you made. This makes it so the lines are perfectly neat. When you have the shape on the paper but want to enlarge it, here's what you can do. Take a ruler and mark a dot on the outside of the line you already made. Using the same line, make another dot somewhere else on the line. Make sure the distance from the original line is the same. Now you have two dots to connect and make a line on the outside. Having two dots helps you make sure that the outside lines are straight and are following the angle of the original lines that you traced. Do that for all four sides. Then you'll start to see the shape you traced, but bigger. If you want to make your shape smaller, then do the same thing, but on the inside. You can cut it out. Remember, when you cut, make sure that the scissor hand is always pointing forward. If you need to go around, use the other hand to turn the thing you're cutting. Using the paper as a pattern, trace around it on the cardboard 10 times, so you will have 10 faces of the D10. Cut those as well. Now, on each of the shapes, write the numbers 1 to 10. Then you can go on and design them. Make sure that in your designs, the numbers are big and clear. Try not to paint or color over those numbers so it won't be hard to find out what number you rolled. Make sure you leave the paint to dry before we do the next thing. While you're waiting for the paint to dry, you can cut little strips of cardboard. These will be the connectors for our shapes. When they're all dry, group them into 5s. One group of 5 will be the top part and the other group will be the bottom. Put glue on the areas where the two shapes will meet. Air it a little bit to let the glue become stickier. Then stick the strips between the shapes. Let that dry again. Now, we get ready to close it. Put the glue on the outer edges of the shapes. These two sides will meet when we close it. Air it a bit and then stick the last strips. You can bend them before sticking to make it easier. Fold it closed and leave it to dry. Make sure it's sturdy before we move on to the next step. Since it's going to be tough to put little strips in between the irregular jagged edges of the two sides, here's what we can do. Take some scratch paper. That's used paper that you don't need anymore. Crumple it into a ball. Try and see if it can fit inside the two halves. Poop it out if it's too small or add more paper. Squish it or tear off parts of it if it's too big. Put glue all over the inside of the D10. Then, smoosh the paper ball in on one side. Then, cover it with the other. Try to align the teeth-like part on both sides before leaving it to dry. Don't worry if there are lots of spaces in between. We'll use tape to seal it all up. When it's dry, we can start taping up the whole thing. Start from the middle. Seal up the bigger crack first, then go around to the smaller ones. Then, do the edges on the upper half, and then do the edges on the bottom half. Ta-da! Now you made your own D10. Whew! That was tough, but we did it. Great job! Now, before we go on to our game, let's play a joke on those who didn't build it with us. They'll skip ahead over this whole part, so only you, the ones who made it with me, will be able to see it. Let's pretend that we talked about a hippo. When they come back, they'll have no idea what was going on because they didn't watch this part. It'll be our little secret. I can't believe the hippo did it! Can you? Man, that was crazy. Anyway, let's head on to our game. Here's what we'll need. First, you're going to need lots and lots of small toys, or counters, or pebbles, or crumpled pieces of paper, or Play-Doh balls. I'm going to use my Lego. And then you'll need a container to put them in, and some chopsticks. If you don't have chopsticks, you can use straws, or sticks from the backyard, or pens, or pencils. Here's how the game will go. Scatter your little toys around your game area, and then roll your D10. The number on top will be how many of those little toys you're going to gather up for each turn. But instead of using your hands to pick them up, use the chopsticks. If you know how to hold chopsticks properly, you can hold it just like that. If you don't, you can hold one stick in each hand and try to pick up things just like this. Here's how to hold a chopstick properly. Here's the proper way to do it as far as I've found. Put one chopstick between your thumb and pointer. Let the other side rest on your ring finger. Hold the other chopstick with the tip of your thumb, pointer, and middle finger, almost like you would a pencil. Then, to hold things down, just squeeze the top stick down on the bottom one. Apparently, I've been doing it wrong all my life, but here's how I hold it, and it works for me. I control it better this way. Instead of letting the bottom chopstick rest on my ring finger, I leave it on my middle finger. I move the top one with only my thumb and pointer. Mom, dad, brother, sister, or whomever else is at home with you can also join. You can take turns rolling the D10, and then both of you will try to pick up that many pieces, and see who can finish picking up first. If that's too easy and you want to challenge yourself, maybe you can do it against a timer. You can ask mom or dad to set a timer for you, say 5 minutes. You can do any amount of time that you like. And then you can keep rolling and picking up that many until the time runs out. You can play this round versus 2, against one person or against however many want to join. Set the timer and roll the die. Pick up that many. Roll the die, pick up that many. Roll the die, pick up that many until the time runs out. Then you can check to see who among you got the most. Well, that's the game. I hope you have fun. If you finish and are still bored, we have loads more videos just like this on the channel. Look around and find the next thing to do. Moms and dads, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, because that's the best place you can find us if you have questions. And you'll always be up to date with all things Curious Monsterland. The links to all those will be down below. It's time for me to say bye for now. But before I go, here's something to think about. The world needs better people because everything's a mess. You can be that better person. All you have to do is remember this. Be brave, be kind, and stay curious.